Hey guys, welcome back to Electrical Car Repair Live. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing to the channel. In today's video guys, we'll be working on an engine guys that has been used guys in multiple vehicles. One of them is Chrysler 200, Fiat 500X and Dodge Ram Promaster City guys. I'm talking about 2.4 Multiair engine. If you want to see guys how to remove cylinder head or how to replace cylinder head gasket, stay with us. That's what we'll be covering today guys. We'll start everything from start to finish, so stay with us. We'll have the engine out of the car. We'll go ahead, remove it, get it here so we can explain even better guys, because if the engine is in the vehicle it's almost impossible. Quick introduction: every car we get at the shop we make at least 200 videos, and we'll have more than 100 videos on the 2.4 engine. We do all that guys so we can save you as much money as we can. So please guys, subscribe to the channel and like the video. Hopefully the video will be helpful. So let's go ahead, start on it now. And if you guys want to buy any tools or parts to fix your car, check out the link in the description of the video below. You can get tools and parts for a super good price and fast shipping as well. Let's start on it now. So when you open the hood of your car, you're going to face this way. You need to remove your engine cover. In order to remove the engine cover guys, you just pull it straight out. Okay, it attaches to these four places on the valve cover. Here you will have your air filter box. You need to get that clamp loose so you can pull the hose back, and this will be a vacuum hose attached to the air filter hose box, that you need to remove. After that you need a clip removal too guys, and right here you will have one clip that you need to remove. It will be just like that clip here guys, but this is broken. Next, 10mm socket guys, and we're going to go ahead and remove that bolt. Perfect. After that guys, what needs to be done, you will need to disconnect the sensor for the intake temperature sensor, and then you have one hose clamp for the let me focus there quick. This is for the throttle body. Get that one loose guys, and after that go ahead and pull it out. Perfect. You can see it came out just like that. Now what else we need to do? We need to start guys with wiring harness, disconnecting wiring harness and all that stuff. So that will take quite a bit of work now. We're going to start now guys. Here we have a few clips. So if you grab it with underneath a little bit, pull, you can get those clips out. Somebody broke them. Here it's supposed to be another one, it's broken. Here we're supposed to have two and one there. One is already broke, two are broken, one is good. Somebody didn't take care of it guys. We need to disconnect ignition coils. How you do that? You pull that piece back. It's supposed to be back, closed like that. Grab it, pull it like that, push down. Let's do this one so I can show a little bit better. Now push down here and pull it out. We do that to all four ignition coils. Here guys, you have the camshaft position sensor. Press down, pull it out as well, and disconnect it from that coolant pipe right here. This is the PCV valve hose. Pull it out. Perfect. Next guys, what do we need to do? That wiring harness is loose on this side, as you can see. We need to start guys, removing here ignition coils. 10mm socket, and we can start on that now. Perfect. Grab each one of them, pull them straight out. Great. Now, what else guys we need to do? We need to guys, start right here, that coolant pipe. We'll need to remove that one. So here you will need to unscrew that post for the valve, for the engine cover, Just grab it and unscrew it like that. After that, 10mm nut. Remove that one. And you can just pull that one gently, careful not to break it there. Gently pull it up. Perfect. And we will leave it on the side. Now let's see what else we have. Right here, wiring harness goes on top of this bolt. Pull it out, and from that point on, I think all we will need is 8mm deep socket, guys, and we'll start removing bolts. We'll show you where every bolt is located now, so you can remove the valve cover. Let's start on it now. 1, 2, 3. Now we start on this side. 4, guys. 5 bolts. 6 here. 7. 8. Okay, there we have 9 in the corner. 10. 11. 12 right behind the spark plugs. 13. 14, guys. Here, one more underneath that wiring harness. 15 bolts on the outside, 4 on the inside now. So altogether we have 19 bolts. Now that valve cover may be stuck, so you may just gently pry it here with a screwdriver. If it doesn't come out, guys, after prying it a little bit, probably some bolt is still holding. Make sure, because here you have a little bit of silicone, even though it's a gasket where the timing cover meets with the cylinder head. You have a little bit of silicone, and you have a little bit of silicone towards the last cap right before the vacuum pump. Grab it, guys, and pull it out. Okay, you can see it just like that. It came out. So we can pre-loosen this now. These 3 bolts for the pulley, water pump pulley. So just get them loose. Don't remove them. We do that while the belt is holding, that way the pulley will not be spinning. Now we can go ahead and remove the belt. 16mm socket, we go counterclockwise, and we can go ahead and remove the belt out. Okay, just like that. Great, it came out. So with the wrench, guys, or breaker bar, it's almost impossible to get that bolt loose. Okay, we're going to bring it to TDC point. Okay. So now the crankshaft pulley bolt, it's impossible to take it with the breaker bar unless you guys damage something. So what we use, guys, our setup here, DeWalt air compressor. You can find the links in the description of the video below. Very little compressor, only 6 gallons, but it goes all the way to 165 psi. This is amazing. And Ingersoll Rand, guys, impact, very powerful impact. And we'll go ahead and remove it with a 22mm socket now. Okay, perfect. You can see, and it came out. Now we can go ahead and remove the pulley, guys, all the way. Okay, just like that. So what do we need to do next, guys? We need to start removing, okay, the water pump pulley, okay, all the way out. You can see it comes out super easy. Next we need to remove the idle pulley here and the tensioner pulley. There is one difference. The idle pulley is regular thread, the tensioner pulley is reverse thread. So it's pretty tight. We'll use the ratchet. Okay, hasn't been removed for a while. Perfect, came out. Now the one on top, okay, it's a 16mm socket, guys. This one is 16mm, and it's a reverse threaded socket, actually. Bolt, excuse me, socket. Bolt. Perfect. Okay, great. Now we need to start removing the bolts. We're going to change the battery quick on the impact, and you're going to see, guys, all the bolts on the timing cover will need to be removed. We're going to start, okay, you can see you have this bolt, this here, here, you have a few underneath here, and you have to remove the actually the bracket for the AC compressor on the bottom, and we need to go all the way around. So make sure you stay until the end, and we'll show you what needs to be done now. So we'll start with the 10mm bolts first. Now we have a few here. This is for the open. Now guys, we need to remove the bracket for the AC compressor, because underneath it there is a hidden bolt. One hidden bolt, and we'll explain where it's located. So we'll need to remove that bolt now right here. Okay, you can see the bottom bolt on the AC compressor, 13mm socket. We get it out. Now we have 3 bolts, I believe, okay, holding that bracket to the oil pan and the engine block and the timing cover. So 12mm socket now. We move the engine a little bit, guys, so we can show you. Once we remove the bracket, I will be able to show you exactly where the bolts are. Okay, and we should have one more after that, in the corner here. So after this one, that bracket will come loose. Okay, and let me show you where all the bolts are now. So you can see 1, 2, 3 bolts that we had to remove. Now 10mm socket, and we have that hidden bolt for the oil pan that we need to remove. Okay, and we got this one out. Next, we continue, guys, with the 13mm or 12mm. Next we're going to switch to 13. Now we switch to 15mm and we'll be almost ready, guys. We'll show you what sealant to use for the timing cover. It works really good. And it's way better looking than that red one. I just don't like the red one, I'm not a big fan of it. The one that we use, it's grey, it's max torque, really good quality. Now we have 2 guides, let me explain quick. Okay, right here you have a guide, right here it may be stuck. Now you have to be very gentle how you pry that thing, because if it's stuck it can crack super easy, guys. We've broken a few in the past from not being careful, so be careful. Gently, start, okay. Prying on one side, switch on the other side a little bit, don't just go all at sudden. So we're done with all the bolts. Now we'll be ready to remove the timing cover, but we want to make sure that we have the engine at TDC point, top dead center. Put your crankshaft pulley, guys. Okay, and this is the mark right here. This is the mark that needs to be brought and aligned with this mark here. So we're going to turn the engine clockwise in our case. Okay, always goes clockwise. Okay, until we reach, guys, that mark there. So we'll just turn it clockwise. You might need to put the bolt and turn it with the bolt if you can. If you remove your spark plugs, it will be way easier to turn, guys. Okay, check it out now. This is your TDC point right here with that mark. So now we're going to remove the pulley and we're going to remove the cover. Let me explain quick here. You have 2 metal guides, okay, that are holding. So if you pry way too much, that silicone gasket maker will be stuck really bad. If you pry too much on one side and it doesn't come out, you can crack that whole cover, guys. We've broken a couple in the past because we were not careful and we weren't our lesson. This is expensive cover too, so go ahead, pull it out, guys. Now we'll explain, guys, okay, what to clean that with, what we used to, okay, to reseal it and all that stuff. As you know, Dodge used the red silicone gasket maker. We like the gray one. Okay, let me show you here. This is, guys, the gray one, ultra gray. gasket maker, maximum torque. This is amazing, guys. We've been using it for the last probably 3 years, and we never had any problems with that thing. It's grain cover, so it's really nice and nice looking, not like sticking out red. And you get, guys, a scraper if you need to buy any of those tools, or the gasket maker. We'll have the link in the description of the video below. You need to clean your cover really good, timing cover. You will, guys, need to clean also the engine block here and the cylinder head when you're ready, guys, to reinstall everything. Just put shop towels or something so things don't fall in the oil pan. You don't want that stuff to go in the oil pan, guys. And clean everything with rubbing alcohol when you're ready to put it together. So after we remove, guys, the timing cover, you just have to verify again that it's at TDC point, top dead center point. Okay, and we can actually go ahead, guys, and get to the camshaft right here. But on the back side, we need to remove the vacuum pump first, brake pump, guys. That will be the first thing that will need to come out. So we need to disconnect the hose. Okay, these two red things need to spread and push up. Careful not to break it. Grab and disconnect that vacuum line. Perfect. Now we have 3 bolts that we need to remove with 13mm socket. 1, 2, and 3, guys. Perfect. And this pump comes out. Okay, perfect, just like that, you can see. Great. Now, what else, guys, we need to do here? As you can see, we need to start removing the timing chain now. Make sure you're at TDC point, guys. We need to remove the tensioner first. We have the timing video and all that on the channel, how to install the timing chain correctly later with the timing marks and all that. We set the timing marks now so you can see some, get an idea, but one of them you cannot see, the oil pump and the balancing shaft. So 13mm socket now, guys, and we're going to remove the tensioner arm out of the way. 10mm for the timing chain guide. Perfect, and we can get it out. Now, right here on top, this one is 15mm socket, guys. We'll need to remove. Okay, impacts are good for those because it won't mess up your timing. Okay, and grab and pull the chain with the gear out. Okay, perfect, just like that. Next, guys, we're going to go ahead and start removing the caps for the camshaft. So 12mm socket first. We have just 2 with 12. The rest are 10mm socket that we'll need to use. Perfect. Now we can grab each of the caps now. Okay, check those. Those are numbered E1, E2, E3, E4, and you have the arrow, guys. Okay, I'm trying to focus here. The arrow pointing towards the outside arrow here as well, so you need to install them exactly the same way later. Do not get them confused, guys. And now we can go ahead and pull the camshaft out of the car. This is, guys, your catalytic converter, exhaust manifold, and one thing that we need to start. Okay, let me explain quick. When the engine is in the car, guys, you will need to disconnect right here on the bottom. You're going to have, guys, 2 bolts with 2 nuts. So you will need to take those off first. That will be, guys, okay, that will be the first thing to do before you continue with anything else. And usually if they don't if they haven't been removed for a long time, I would recommend using, guys, rust penetrating spray like that. This is amazing. Spray them, let them sit for a few hours, or spray them the night before, and that will make a great difference. After you guys remove these two bolts, okay, you will need to disconnect your oxygen sensors. So you have two cables there. Check it out. We need to disconnect both of them. Okay, one is out. Second one out. And you can see both oxygen sensors are disconnected now, guys. After that, thermal shield cover here, guys, okay, we need to remove that. Why? Because all the bolts are underneath. So how we do that now, guys? Okay, here we have the valve cover. Okay, the valve cover removed, but you don't need to remove that, guys. So we need to do now, okay, just remove these nuts. Okay, third one here. So 3 nuts. We have 2 bolts that we need to remove. One on the other side. Perfect. Now, if it's in the car, guys, this thing will not come off. We need to remove the oxygen sensor, because you will not be able to pull that thermal shield because it will hit the radiator fan. So that oxygen sensor will need to be removed so we can remove the thermal shield. That's what we'll be working on now. And for that oxygen sensor, guys, there is a special socket for removing it. Okay, and we'll have the link in the description of the video below, guys. Check it out. And super convenient. Okay, it just goes on top of the oxygen sensor through the wires. Okay, and you get it loose. Those tend to be sometimes really tight. Okay, but you can see once they come loose, usually they go by hand pretty easy, guys. Okay, and now we can go ahead, grab the that cover, thermal cover, and go up. Okay, maybe it's gonna come out. We're just hitting that pipe there because we got it loose and it's in the way a little bit. Okay, and pull it out like that, guys. So we pre-loosen all the bolts now, guys, so we can save you time and not just watch us remove them, but we'll show you where all the bolts are located. Those are with, okay, let's see, with looks like 13mm socket, guys. So just go ahead and remove each one of them. We pre-loosen them, so again, things can happen quicker because those tend to be tight sometimes. They don't go so easy, and it's really time consuming just watching us unscrew it. But that way you know where they're located and what needs to be done. Okay, now you have 2 nuts that you need to remove. Those are with either 13 or 15, I don't remember, 14, 15 maybe. Maybe 14. Yep, 14mm from what it seems, guys. The bolts are 13 and the nuts are 14mm socket. So getting one out. Now, there is one bracket that you need to remove too, guys, and I won't be able to show you okay now, but when we remove it I'll explain what needs to be done. This is the bracket, and this is holding the exhaust towards the engine block. So we're going to remove it and I'll explain where this one is, so make sure you stay with us until the end, otherwise you won't be able to pull it out. Now, holding it that way now, guys. Okay, those are the 2 nuts that I explained about earlier. Remember I told you you have 2 nuts on the bottom that you need to remove. And after that, guys, okay, after these 2 nuts, what do you do? okay, you're going to remove that bracket here. That bracket is the one that, guys, holding it to the engine block. Okay, so you will, guys, need to remove it. I removed the whole thing, just 3 bolts. 1 from the engine block and 2 from the exhaust manifold. Okay, right here. You remove that, remove the 2 nuts, then you're going to remove the oxygen sensor, thermal plate, and then you can remove all the bolts on top. So that's how you guys remove the you can see the catalytic converter and exhaust manifold on this car. So next, for the cylinder head or cylinder head gasket, guys, we need to disconnect all our cables here. Okay, that will need to be done. This hose right here, this is the one that's going to the thermostat housing, the little one from the overflow bottle. I think we showed you how to disconnect that one. If not, stay with us, we'll show you guys how to do it again. And you need to start, guys, okay, removing some wiring harness. We'll need to remove and disconnect the alternator wires as well. Make sure that your car battery is disconnected for that, because otherwise you can catch your car on fire, because this is a positive 12 volt wire coming, guys, from the car battery there. So squish on each side, pull out. We'll need to disconnect the alternator wires, and we'll need to disconnect also, guys, the wires connectors for the AC compressor, so we can pull that wiring harness on the other side. Otherwise you will not be able to pull the head out. That red thing, slide it back, push, and disconnect it. Now here, 2 wires that you need to disconnect, one for the AC compressor clutch, one for the pressure sensor. Perfect. You have 2 holders there that hold the wires in place, and 1 ground wire there. Okay, that ground wire is, okay, let's see, with 14 millimeter. Probably it's a 13. Perfect. So we grab it, we pull it up. Next we're going to come on this side and we're going to disconnect that sensor here. Perfect. After that we pull it to the side. Okay, here we'll need to disconnect our fuel lines and purge valve line. Now this is super dangerous, guys. Now let me quick explain that. You will, guys, have to use eye protection, eyeglasses, gloves, all that stuff, because that fuel line will be under enormous amount of pressure. Do not do the work on hot engine, guys. Only on cold engine. Avoid spark, open flame, smoking, anything like that, because you will spill fuel no matter what you do, and you can catch your car or yourself on fire. Always have a fire extinguisher on the plate, guys. So I wouldn't recommend, if you don't know what to do, don't do it. Pull that thing up. Here we need to disconnect that bracket so we can remove both hoses. Okay, now we're going to turn it this way, and now, guys, what we need to do, grab that hose and push it all the way in, then push there and start gently pulling it out. It's going to spray fuel usually here. Ours is empty because it's cut, but you can see it came out. Now this one right here, guys, it has 2 green things that we need to squish towards each other. Okay, grab those and pull the purge valve line out as well. Okay, like that. After that we can remove the foam piece, and we need to disconnect the rest of the sensors here. We have fuel injectors. Slide that thing up, press in, pull it out. You do that for all 4 injectors. Okay, this one, okay, it's supposed to be like this one, the purge valve. You slide it back, push here and disconnect it. Okay, what now? We, guys, need to disconnect the wiring harness from the intake manifold here. So that's what we're doing next. Map sensor needs to be disconnected. Oil pressure sensor here on the bottom, that one needs to be disconnected as well. So that red thing Okay, push it from this side a little bit, then grab it here, guys, slide it more, then press in and pull it out. Perfect. Okay, here we have more wires, they'll stay in. On this side, okay, let me come all the way on this side now. We need to disconnect the wires going towards the starter from the intake manifold. Perfect. Throttle body needs to be disconnected. Great. Now here we have the thermostat wire and the thermostat hose that I told you we should have disconnected. I'll explain now in a second. Okay, this one, that red thing, slide it back. Okay, now right here there is a little bitty thing that you press in and you disconnect it. Okay, this thing. This is, guys, the little coolant pipe coming from the overflow bottle. Press on that white thing there and you will gently pull it out, but that thing, guys, gets stuck sometimes. It's how ours is broken. Okay, that's where we broke it, but that's how you practically remove it. You will need to disconnect your hose from here, that way you won't need to replace the clamp there, because this is actually reusable clamp. You need to disconnect the heater core hoses here and here. Okay, you can see it's two of them and they look like this one. This is one of them. There is a spring that you pull out, and once you pull the spring you can disconnect the hose. And this one here, guys, you just push in like that and you pull the hose out. So with all that being removed now, okay, let's see what else we have holding here. Probably that should be all. So I think we can go ahead and start removing the cylinder head bolts now. But before we start on removing the bolts, there is one hose for the thermostat. Okay, one bolt that we need to remove the bottom left corner, because it's holding the pipe from the water pump there, so you need to remove that bolt. Okay, perfect. And from that point on, I think we are ready, guys, to start on removing the cylinder head bolts. And we will have, guys, 10 of those. Let me show you quick there where they're located. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now it's very important how you remove it. Most people who just start on one side work their way out. As you know, there is a special sequence the way you install the bolts, kind of like you remove them in reverse order. We're going to go ahead and start from the corner, go in a cross pattern, and we're going to go the first time only 90 degrees. Okay, 90 degrees, guys, on each bolt. So we get the torque socket here, all the tools and parts again, guys. Have them listed in the description of the video below. And we go ahead and start removing. 90 degrees, perfect. Then we go in the rear, right. Perfect. So you go like kind of like in a cross pattern. Careful not to break your camshaft sensor here. Remove it if you have to. Why we do that, guys? Because that way we will not deform the cylinder head. If you're replacing it, it's fine, but you still don't want to deform your aluminum engine block. So always, guys, do it the correct way. Don't take any chances, even though most likely you won't, but there is always a possibility. Now Once you get them loose, guys, you're supposed to go another 180 degrees, half a revolution, but ours already got loose. So we can just go ahead and start pulling them out. Perfect. Now I think we can grab that cylinder head, guys, after we remove the bolts, and it should come loose. Just the last one still holding a little bit. So, okay, let me see if I can, no. Okay, right there. Last one came out too. Those are all the bolts, guys. Always you have to use new bolts, new gasket when you remove your cylinder head. Now, we need to get something, guys, okay, so we can put the head on so we don't damage it. You cannot just put it on your concrete, get a towel, get something soft, styrofoam, something, guys. So it's not directly on concrete. And we can go ahead, I think we can grab it, and we need to make sure that we feed the wiring out of the, okay, out of the intake there. Okay, guys, and it comes out, okay, you can see, just like that, cylinder head is out. So we can go ahead, okay, and we can just go ahead and drop it, guys. So you can see head is out, head gasket is about to come out now, guys. Okay, just like that. We have the torque specs, guys, coming very soon. We have a video how to clean your engine block and how to clean your cylinder head and be ready for installation. So hopefully the video will be helpful. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos and see you guys next time.